the beautiful, the Museum of Fine Arts, poem by W. Auden. We have done 2 classes. Now this is the third and last one, but I would like to remind you of one thing. Actually, although the poem is based on a major painting by Peter Bruegel. See, the title of the painting is Landscape with the Fall of Icarus. That is the first painting. Landscape with the fall of Icarus. Icarus, the son of, the ambitious son of Daedalus, the craftsman, the miracle craftsman. Those things we have done yesterday, so no need of repeating. Icarus with his waxen wings, he went up. The word of it is, the sun did not do anything. The sun was doing its duty, and then the waxen wings melted and he fell into the sea. That is the disaster. That is the central disaster of this poem. But for others it is an amazing sight. Other people it is amazing sight. It is not an important failure. Others. Now 2 other paintings, that is the Numbering of Bethlehem. The second painting is, of course, it's only a reference, the numbering of Bethlehem. That refers to the arrival of Joseph and Mary, father and mother of Jesus Christ, before the birth of Jesus. Augustus Caesar issued a decree, order that all those people should return to the native places for taking census, recording the population. Understand? So that is the numbering. And the third one is the Massacre of the Innocents. The third painting is the Massacre of the Innocents. And that is the decree of Herod to kill all the babes below 2 years old. Because somehow he came to know that a baby has been born in Bethlehem, and that baby will challenge the crown of his existence. So he thought of murdering, or he ordered the massacre of all the children below 2 years. Now, these 3 paintings, you will find reference to this as we go through this poem. So let's read the poem once again, and today we'll wind up this discussion on this poem, because I have been telling you too many things about this. So there's no need of, I don't think you require any further explanation. Already you know it. Okay, let's see. About suffering, they were never wrong. The old masters. It's an example, for a brilliant example, Cataphra. Cataphra means that is pronoun occurring first and reference noun occurring after that. So if you say like this now, Tom saw his friend. Now this is pronoun first, noun first, pronoun second. This is called anaphora. Anaphora means forward reference, falling forward. But this is cataphora, means falling backward. That's the meaning. For example, when you say, I think you have the text with you, about suffering, they is the cataphora, and old masters is the postcedent. I will write it down the board. So they is the cataphora. It is the cataphora, the back reference, no? And then the postcedent is old masters. Postcedent. Now in this case it is antecedent. Tom is the as masters. Yes. So old masters is the posterior. Now this tom is the antecedent and this is the anaphora. His is the anaphora. Noun comes first and then pronoun next. In this case, that is anaphora. Then pronoun comes first and noun comes second, then that is called a cataphora. You can see it. About suffering, they were never wrong, the old masters. The noun is the old masters. And what did I say? They. That is the cataphora. Understand? So that is going back. So that's called postecedent. Old masters postecedent and they cataphora. I think you understand now. Tom, his, anaphora. Noun, pronoun. But they, old masters, cataphora. Cataphora, because pronoun first and noun comes afterwards. Clear. Okay, you have the text, you can mark it there. About suffering, they were never wrong, the old masters. How well they understood its human position. So the poem is all about this. The subject matter of the poem is the human position of suffering. And I have given enough examples from Ekshaprasana, from Shakespeare, from folk songs, from the Proverbs, German as well as Flemish. So that is the position of suffering. That means indifference. About suffering, indifference. Because it's only news for you. So that 1,000 people there was an air crash and all on board died. It's a news for us. But if you feel sympathy, that sympathy is called abstract sympathy. Abstract sympathy. What is that thing, abstract sympathy? See, when you are near and dear ones or somebody whom you know, if something happens to them, something tragic happens to them, that sympathy. But when you say, say like this, in Malaysia, some parts of the country, let's say, some part of the country, far away, not nearby you. I don't want to, so you delete Malaysia, I did not say that. I don't want to name any country, that's true. Otherwise, So what do you say, you say that in faraway place, say it can be in the North Pole or South Pole somewhere, there was an air crash and all on board died. Then you say it. But on the other hand, actually if you feel sympathy, and that sympathy you call it, what you call abstract sympathy. Abstract sympathy. Understand? That we don't have. Very difficult. Say somebody is hungry, say in some other place, in faraway place, and you feel that hunger. You feel kind of, when you are about to eat something, you think of that. That is abstract sympathy. Understand? That's what you should develop. So about suffering, they were never wrong. The old masters, how well they understood this human position. That's why you find these three paintings. The Numbering of Bethlehem, landscape with the fall of Icarus, central disaster is amazing for some people. It's not an important failure. So that is the human position. From the poem we can quote. How will they understood? How it takes place while, that's the thing. So we had the house, this is the second house. How it takes place? Somebody is eating, opening the window, or just walking the day alone. So that is the background. Then he said, how when the aged are reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth. That is the second painting. The prophets, the aged people, wise men, they were all waiting passionately for the miraculous birth. But still, side by side, as a result of that development, there is massacre. So third painting, the Massacre of the Innocents. One we are waiting for miraculous birth, but the other side we have got the Massacre of the Innocents. Understand? How the aged, the old people, the wise men, reverently. You remember no? When they saw the star, 3 wise men from the east, they followed the star and reached. Gift of the Magi, you have heard no? So they bought precious gifts and then presented them to Jesus, lying in the cradle. Listen, lying in the cradle. So that is miracle. So when aged and reverently, passionately waiting for the miraculous birth, there always must be children who did not specially want it to happen. Why? Because it directly affects them. They don't know, but still. What happened is that many children were massacred. So that the third painting, the Massacre of the Innocents. I told you, the cardinal painting, cardinal means very important. The very important painting, of course, is the poem is based on this, but there are 2 references here. One is that of reverently waiting, passionately waiting for the birth of Jesus Christ. The other is the children. Somehow they have got a telepathy that this will affect us. Telepathy means distant feeling. Tele means distant. Telephone, distant sound. Television, distant vision. So they had some telepathy that their friends and their acquaintances of that age will be massacred by the king. So probably they did not want it. Especially want it to happen. They were skating on the pond at the edge of the wood. They can only skate there, there is no other place. But think of that, I think that you have gone through that painting available. Just write like this, just type landscape with the follow because you will get that painting. Then go through that, then you will appreciate it more. Okay, children waiting and pond at the wood, etc. They never forgot. They never forgot that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course. They never forget. Who are the they? They means the aged men, the wise men. They knew that this will happen. Martyrdom must, it is a must. Or it is the obsessive, compulsive way of nature. Things which are to happen have to happen. There is no escape from it. There are 2 things like that. First, martyrdom must happen. Second, the sun should shine, whatever happens. So that even that they refer not to the children. Children are not that much conscious about martyrdom and all those things. But they, means the aged men, they never forget that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course. So that is, reference is to the numbering of Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and also the Massacre of Innocents. I think then the meaning will be very clear. They never forgot the old masters, because the subject is the old masters. About suffering, they were never wrong, the old masters. The old masters never forgot that even the dreadful martyrdom must run its course. The human position of suffering. There are certain things which have to. See, one such thing is this martyrdom. Anyhow, in a corner, some untidy spot, where the dogs go on with their doggy life, there's an animal world. And dogs are not concerned. And the torturers who torture those soldiers sent by Herod to massacre, to murder all these children. Their mission is that. But the horses are innocent. They have no idea. They were used as an instrument that to come there, but the instrument is innocent. So he doesn't know, he was scratching his back. Where? The innocent behind on a tree. So the soldiers, they came rushing, searching for, you have seen that painting, snatching the babies from the hands of the weeping mothers. And they just mercilessly cut them into two. But one poor horse, he cannot cry, so it's just some scratching on the tree nearby. So these are things that are happening, but this martyrdom, dreadful martyrdom must come. A human position of suffering. Listen. You know, in history, you know about Auschwitz. That is, dreadful martyrdom must happen. So this is not that just in Bethlehem or in some pockets here and there, but it continues. This kind of suffering continues. So that is the... Then what happened is, he says, what dogs go on? Dogs? So they are leading the doggy life. So that is again indifference. And now the main painting, as a landscape, that is the description now. In Bruegel's painting, for instance, how everything turns away, quite leisure. This is what you saw now. Quite leisure. From the disaster, the plowman may have heard the splash, the forsaken cry of the curse. This is directly the description, the minute description of the vivid description even of the painting. That's it. But what happened? Forsaken cry, but for him it was not an important failure. The sun shone as it had. Another compulsive, obsessive event that should take place in nature. Nature is not concerned about any such thing. That's it. So the sun shines. So there's a total indifference. Already we have seen eating, opening, walking, waiting, skating, dogs, horses, turning leisurely, plowman, sun shining. See that? Then reverently, passionately waiting, quite leisurely, not important. Sailed calmly, turned away leisurely. Then you have torture, forsaken cry, boy falling, and participating is earth, celestial world, sun, humans, animals, age, the children, the contrast, everything you find. As it is on the white legs of the boy. It's a Greek now, so must be white, not dark. So white legs of the boy. Then what happened? And as it had disappearing into the green one. A black tragedy, but the green one. And expensive cruise ship, a mini Titanic, you can say. So, expensive, delicate ship that must have seen something amazing. Amazing. A boy falling from the sky, yeah? We have seen meteors falling from the sky, rain falling from the sky, isn't it? Or you have seen some birds falling from the sky, but a boy falling from the sky, oh, they were all looking, oh, what a wonderful sight. The other side of the thing, the human suffering did not touch them. So the boy falling from the sky had somewhere to get to and sail calmly on. Not the boy, but the ship. So you have got the entire world participating in this. But each and every aspect is, we can see, this indifferent. Now the poem is written, it is written in a very slopey way. The lines are indifferent because the people are indifferent. So the structure is a kind of we will say an objective correlative for this. To use the phrase used by T.S. Eliot, structure, laconic diction, uses very few words, but then it gives you an immense panorama. It's a laconic diction, laconic, L-A, laconic diction. Uses few words, but the meaning it covers a vast canvas. See, 3 paintings he refers. And the entire world, human, animal, celestial, and the earth. Or you can say mundane. So it covers such a vast canvas it is. And paintings we have already seen. History behind. Historical, mythical. Historical, because the massacre of the Innocents, that is, it has got something to do with history. I don't know whether it is a historical event, but it is considered like that. The arrival of Joseph and Mary, Bethlehem. But then there is a mythological event, that is that of Daedalus and his son. Isn't it? A story, a myth. Now putting all these things together, there is just in 21 lines. Some people say there are only 20 lines. I have counted and I found 21 lines. Now you can decide for yourself. You have the text with you. I remember I wrote it on the board in my first class. So why don't you think of, you can count. I don't know why people have reduced it to 21 lines. In 21 lines you find, what do you find is the entire world, not means the universe. The approach of the universe towards human suffering. Human suffering. But the best explanation is given in the Yakshaprasana, because Yamaraj, in the shape of a crane, questions Yudhishthira, and then he gives the answer. He says, the wonder of wonders is, your brother is lying dead and you are feasting by the side of the dead body. That means it is so. It is so, we can say, temporal as well as spatial. So near. There is a temporal tension and a spatial tension. But what of that? The person living has no tension. This is the attitude towards human suffering. Very often what happens, when you hear that somebody is dead, the junior most senior lecturer will think that next time I will become the HOD. Sometimes such things can happen. See that the head of the department died of a heart attack. The junior most senior lecturer, who will be that I don't know, that you can predict. He will be happy in his mind, thinking that tomorrow I will get that chair. See that? And all these, cheatings, deceptions, betrayal, forgery, fraud. That's not causing human suffering. Murder in cold blood, character assassination. So that what is the attitude of the people? Indifference. It's like that. So I think it's a piece that should definitely prompt you to think of our existence. Now suppose you look at it from the Marxist point of view. Or suppose you look at it from the feminist point of feminism. there is no reference to a female character in this point. Isn't it? How they view suffering? No. Now look at this from the point of view of Marxism, and you will find materialism. It's nothing but materialism. So a Marxist approach to that, you can say, right? From existentialist point of view, it is a huge question mark. An existentialist loneliness. From the existential philosophical point of view, we are all in an existential loneliness, so terrible. Understand? We are all in sometimes we say we are all alone in a crowded city. You'll find human beings going crisscrossing, going here and there, but we are all alone in a crowded city. You see that feeling, loneliness, existential loneliness. That's what you find when you look at that. And of course, you can also read this poem with a structuralist lens and a deconstructionist lens. When you look at it from deconstruction, you will find that the meaning doesn't stop here. The play goes on. It reaches an aporia, where you are unable to find a final meaning of this poem. Structuralism these days, people don't teach in universities. That's what I came to know when I went through some of those books. But this new philosophical way of reading the text, that is reconstruction, that is still being discussed. Because as you know, Paul Deman's as a resistance to theory says, we are confusing the materialism of signifier with the materialism of signified. Paul Deman says in the resistance to theory. Now I don't want to enter into such discussions here. For the time being, you understand that from a deconstructionist point of view, this is only one layer of meaning what we have been trying to find out. There will be a number of layers of meaning if you look at it from that point of view. So you can deconstruct this point. That means you can reread this point. Reconstruct means you are not dismantling and destroying it, but rereading it. When you are rereading it, you will get new ideas. Because there is what we call infinite play of signifiers. And what is after all this poem? Please, my dear students, I am not confusing you. I stop here. So I think you will appreciate this poem. But what you can, of course, understand is the existential loneliness of man. That is there. I think it foregrounds this. The poem foregrounds the existential loneliness of humans by defamiliarizing the painting, the landscape with the fall of Icarus. And that is using this laconic diction I told you. Sloppy writing. There's nothing like, you cannot say this is a stanza, that is a stanza. You cannot say why this run-on lines. See, for example, the line like this. While someone is eating or opening a window or just walking dully along, compare it with about suffering, they were never wrong. See that? Or you have got another lengthy line here. See it? That is, that even that may not be. See the line number 13. But for him it was not an important failure. The sun shone. The sun shone. The sun shone is something like something that does not have an organic relation to that entire line and context. It stands separate, it seems. Isn't it? But for him, it was not an important failure, the sun show. And then continues as it had on the white legs, etc. So sloppy writing, laconic diction, etc. again shows the indifference, defamiliarizing, focusing. You are in. So if the world is indifferent, the poet thinks that why should I not be indifferent in writing? That may be the reason. More of this, you can have your classroom discussion and you can share it with me later. For the time being, I think that I have taken too much time today. Sorry for that. I thank you for listening. Thank you for listening and see you again.